Good morning, one and all, and welcome to the world of the International Fabtalks. As usual, we are back again, and we are here with a wonderful celebrity and guest who's joining us all the way from Bengaluru. Sir stays in the US, but he's here in Bengaluru on special request. He has taken out some time for you and for me. Let's welcome our celebrity and guest. He is Mr. Bharat Vijay. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session.
Thank you, Crystal. Glad to be here. Great to get a chance to share with the audience. And thank you for accommodating me on a very short trip.
Thank you very much, sir. We should, in fact, thank you for taking out the time, because if somebody gives you time, that's really a blessing, because time is important for everyone. And if you really done that for us today and sharing your space here, we thank you first, and we are happy to have you here. With your permission, I shall go ahead and share your profile for the audience to know as to who you really are, and then we begin the session.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dear friends, it's always a honor and a wonderful privilege to share the profile of our celebrity and guest. We have Bharat sir with us over here. In fact, I'm really excited. You must be wondering why I'm getting stuck up for words, because sir is connected with something very specific, which we all need to know. Sir is India's second generation leader, a social entrepreneur, is the founder of AmberTag, a meditation practitioner as well. Friends, let's go more deeper into sir's profile. Bharat sir is one of India's second generation leaders, as I mentioned, and sir is connected with Yahoo. Initially, now we have Gmail, but earlier we had Yahoo. So sir is connected with Yahoo in bringing Yahoo to India in 2000. That's wonderful. And Amazon as well in 2004. So sir is connected with Yahoo and Amazon. And he's been one of those pioneers who have brought the fast-moving internet culture and paving the way for various companies like Flipkart and others to emerge as world leaders. That's wonderful, sir, to know about it. So that's why I'm getting stuck up. Today, I'm really happy to share the space with somebody who's connected with large establishments, and it's worldwide. That's really nice. Bharat sir is a social entrepreneur, as I earlier mentioned. Now, what is that? Sir will explain as to who is a social entrepreneur. You could be one too, like sir, and he has a passion for creating jobs. This is what we want in the world, to create employment for the youngsters, because the younger generation, they are educated, highly educated, but they lack employability, or they lack the skills of employment, or they lack the chances to get better opportunities in order to get the right kind of employment or a job in hand. So that's really nice. Sir is the founder as well of AmberTag. Now, what is AmberTag? I'll just share with you. It is a movement which brings high-tech skills to the youth and to one and all. It should not only be to the youth, the middle-aged, the senior citizen. I think everyone should have access to that. That's my personal view. And after finding no depth in these successes, like, being connected to the tech field, sir has stumbled upon something very, very important. That is something connected to India, only to India. And now it has spread across the world, but initially it's something connected very close to India. Guess what, friends? You've guessed it right. It's yoga and meditation. Sir finds a lot of satisfaction, peace in connecting with yoga and meditation. And along with that, he shares a happy space on his cyber journey as well. He's a teacher, a facilitator with regard to meditation, blending the strength of computing with human intuition and care for people around. It's not only being connected to a gadget, it's connecting to people, bonding with people, that really makes the essence of our presence in this universe more fragrant and more lovely. So join us on this beautiful, fabulous session, friends, to get to know more about Sir. I'm excited about one thing: Sir creating jobs for the people around us, all of us, and focused with a Yahoo, Amazon, Flipkart, and above all, yoga and meditation. So that's wonderful. I'm excited to join us, friends, on this exciting journey. So if I mispronounced anything in the flow, kindly forgive me. Now we start up with the session. I will share a bit about you. We'd love to know more about you from you, sir. So over to you, Bharat sir.
Crystal, thank you for a really wonderful introduction. When I paid 5 rupees a month in 5th standard for my education here, 6 rupees in 6th standard, all the way up to 10 rupees in 10th standard. And that education gave me a chance a lot of people here gave me a chance. Parents, everybody from, the people around gave me a chance to do something. And as part of that, I was able to go and do my master's in the US and then, work there in companies like Oracle and Yahoo. And there was always something in me to give back. And so in 2000, my wife said, after having spent 10 years in the US, I went to the US in 1988. My wife said, let's go back to India. So we talked to the folks at Yahoo and said, we would love to go to India. At that time, it was dot coms were not very well regarded. People would call them dot bomb and things like that. And we came back here and there was no experienced talent. And somebody told me today, a great educationist, Professor Jawahar of PES College, he shared with me, he said, one thing India has is everybody has the ability to learn. Somebody will learn technology, somebody will learn gardening, but there is this incredible ability to learn. So we came back and we really found that. We took young students that have graduated from a local Bangalore college, PES, and we put them to solve some of the hardest problems that the internet was facing. And we found that they were able to, stand in there with the most experienced people who had 20, 25 years in computing, just because of that energy and the drive that a youngster has. So we went on to create a great story for Yahoo, which created tens of thousands of jobs in India and also disseminated the knowledge. In 2004, one of the Yahoo search gurus went to Amazon and he flew me to Seattle to meet the great Jeff Bezos. And I was amazed to see a person with a very childlike enthusiasm that just wanted to build things. And I said, yes, we can bring Amazon to India. And well before Amazon had actually thought about it. So we brought Amazon to India in 2004. And that group has added tens of thousands of jobs, maybe even more than 100,000 jobs. And again, spread the knowledge. After that, we created several startups in India, and then I went on to actually create an institution that could train people to learn, especially people from underserved communities, tier 2, tier 3 cities. How do we bring and teach them the highest things in technology, like the most complex that people say you have to go to IIT or MIT? I said, if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. And we went on to teach them. We've now in 10 years taught 1,400 people. We created many companies with Silicon Valley. And while going through this whole journey, I found there was something missing. You can serve, you can be in service, you can do so many things. And for me, I felt there was something missing. And I stumbled in through a very close friend into a journey with yoga and meditation. And that really enhanced what I was doing. And I found that you have a compassion for the compassion automatically develops for people and for yourself. You even become a better technologist because you sit in a room, suddenly ideas start flashing, which earlier you have to work very hard at. Because of meditation, there's a certain intuition. So we started inventing more and more things and more products. And from our work in Yahoo and Amazon, we found so many companies formed. The founders of Flipkart worked with us in both Amazon and early employees at Yahoo. The founders of Infibeam worked with us in Amazon. The founders of Hortonworks worked with us in Yahoo. Great giants of companies just came because we had a chance to bring this knowledge into India. So that's been the journey. There's been many ups and downs and challenges, but by and large, bringing this high technology and at the same time marrying it with something that is fundamentally Indian, fundamentally human, fundamentally compassionate, has been really the story.
Excellent, sir. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. That's really very interesting to know. Now, sir, when you first came with this thought that I go back to India, and you brought Yahoo over here to India. I would like you to explain that phase as to actually what was it that you all did and focused on when you all entered back into the Indian borders. Like, what was it? How was the initial feeling? How was the response of the people in India with regard to, yes, sir.
Yeah, no, it's a phenomenal question. Every place has its strengths. So the US has a phenomenal ability to analyze and to to market, to articulate. And India has this phenomenal ability to learn. Everybody does bit of everything, but there's, it's always a win-win, and each one helps the other in a global environment. So when we first came to Yahoo, at that time, the market was beginning to go through a depression. Within a year of us starting, 9/11 happened, and the entire economy tanked, and people were not creating any jobs. So during that time when we came here, people said, "Hey, if you're not part of an Infosys or an Intel, what is this Yahoo?" And so we had to explain to people that the internet is here to stay, and these companies would be here to stay. And we didn't have any existing talent pool, so we would go to local colleges and we would actually play cricket matches there to create an informal atmosphere, and then see who would be interested. And we were amazed. We found people that would do really well in our tests and would join the company. And we found people that would not do well in our test, but they just wouldn't give up. In fact, one of those people came back to us and said, "Give me a second chance." And he came to the office at 8 a.m. and he worked till 4 a.m. the next day to solve the problem. And we said, "We don't even need to see your solution. Just come and start tomorrow." And he went on to become a billionaire from being, from being a young kid out of a local college. He went on to become a billionaire. That's the attitude that people have. And so when we created it, we had to bring the internet culture, which is very informal. People don't wear suits and boots. And when I interviewed at Yahoo for the first time for my job, I wore a suit and went into to interview. And the founder was wearing, white shorts and like almost like a banyan. And I said, "Am I in the right place?" He said, "No, no, you're here." He took me out, he sat me under a tree, and he gave me the hardest interview I ever gone through. So just looking casual doesn't mean that they're not intense. So we brought that culture, where everyone is equal. It's not so hierarchical in the thinking. And I think that unlocked people. That really allowed people to think. And they're not always told what to do, and it's not a hierarchical thinking. And so many founders came out of it. So many people started companies. So many companies became successful, and so much innovation happened. So in the early days, that's what we did: is we had to make people unlearn the hierarchy, and to look at things with a very fresh, open, equal perspective.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for sharing that anecdote with regard to that boy, that student who transformed himself, that youth who transformed himself and requested you for a second chance. And then, second chances will take you really to a higher place. So if you fail for the first time, you always have the next time. You have, if plan A, then it's plan B. Never give up. What I get from what you've shared is never give up on your dreams with regard to what you've just shared. That's wonderful, sir. Now, could you tell us something about AmberTag, as to what is it? When did you create this? What made you create this beautiful platform? And what's it all about? It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a beautiful question. So with Yahoo, actually, we created many things that today are the foundation stones of the internet. So almost every company uses that technology. The person with whom I built it died of cancer about 12 years ago. His name is Elliot Yasnovsky, a very, very close friend of mine. And when he died, I said, I have to do something different. I need to, I've been going in a certain track, but is there a way to make a difference in society? And I started thinking, started working in the cancer space. We worked with some of the folks at Karunashraya, and I was part of the team, played a very, very small role, but part of the team in bringing Indian Cancer Society to back to Bangalore. And around that time, I said, we need an organization that can give back by training people. So we worked with Dr. Rajaram Kudli, who is a great social teacher who teaches data science and advanced computing. And we created an open door where anybody could come that wanted to find a job. No limits, anybody. And people were shocked. They said, shouldn't you need to know computers? We said no. We've learned it. So if we can learn, anyone can learn. And so people came. They would actually come from North India, finding out about us, and they said, "Oh, we started two organizations. One was called Sampattu, which means wealth. The other is called Sangachadvam, which means let us progress together." So we started these two groups and had people come in there, and we started training them and it would take 2 or 3 years for them to learn. And we knew it's hard for them to just keep learning. So instead of taking money from them, we paid them. We paid them to learn. And how did we get this money? We actually went out, did projects in the industry, earned that money, and paid them to learn. And after 2 or 3 years, we found that people became so good that we thought they were actually as good as any of the IITians in their capability. All it requires love, requires attention, it requires a mentor. It is, I would say, a modern day Gurukul system where it just happens in the office, it happens on a computer, but it is exactly that. And so with AmberTag, we started that way. We then had Silicon Valley entrepreneurs come to us and said, hey, you have these 20 people. I want to start a company. If I'm to start a company in the US or Bangalore, I have to pay so much more money, but you have this talent. So we said, if you're doing that, then allow us to participate in the success of that company as a social venture. And so from this, many companies came up. One of them is a company that I'm the CEO of today called Unisense, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But essentially, that's what AmberTag did, is it helped create many companies. We created companies in the cardiac space. Imagine people who don't know any background in computing or medicine came and created more than 50 patents, and they built a product that can take a small device through the body into the heart and do heart treatment. And they've done human trials. They've got FDA approval. All this has happened, with that intention. The other thing that happened just before I started AmberTag is I did my first yoga and meditation program. I did it with the Art of Living, and that helped really open me to service. The when your mind is at peace, your ability to serve just comes out naturally. You don't feel service is a burden. You don't feel it's this huge responsibility. You just feel a joy in giving back. And that was something that made a very big difference to me. And I think of my life in two halves, before I did my yoga and meditation, after I did yoga and meditation. It's almost like somebody turned on the lights. And even though I had a very successful career before that, somehow there was never that satisfaction. Whereas here, I know I'm just here to give. It's just so easy to contribute, and when you're contributing, you grow as well, both economically as well as spiritually, and that's really been the journey. And as computing advances, as science advances, so does your knowledge of yourself, and the two are kind of proceeding in parallel. And today we're in a world where computing has reached its pinnacle with AI that can potentially outthink a human being in so many different ways. So now we're all asking the question that where do we go from here? And I think it's a great place to be, because I had a chance to introduce AI into the internet in 1998, almost 26 years back, at a time when people said, what are you doing with this technology? And today, everybody is talking AI. And so I've really seen it grow. I have a healthy respect and a healthy skepticism of what AI can do, and I have a great respect for what the human being can do. And 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 we are bringing these two together in all our ventures, like Unisense and many of the others we're working.
That's really nice and interesting, sir. And I like this path, the new path that you've chosen now, yoga and meditation. Like, so there are the youngsters also who should join into this, such that they do not feel deviated from what's going on in their lives, because many of them lose track being connected with the internet, being connected with AI and all of that, the modern technology. They forget about themselves, and by the time they realize as to what they have lost, it's quite late. So is there any initiative for the youth of India, the youth of the world, you know, to join and to understand the importance of meditation, spirituality, yoga, like that? Is there any initiative that has been taken, or what is the suggestion you'd like to give them?
Yeah, I think it's the times are tough because I think social media has a great positive, but it also has a great burden, because people typically post what's nice about themselves on social media. But every human being is going through ups and downs, and all the ups get posted on social media, and nobody posts their own downs. People post others' downs, right? And the challenge is when you see that, you assume that, oh, all these nice things are happening, and my life is not so great, and that causes people to think very differently. That's uh, that's one thing. The second thing is somebody always does better than you. There's always, if even if you're like the prime minister of a country, there's a president, or if you're the president, then there's a prime minister. There's always somebody who does better than you. And in today's world, it's very hard to process that. You know, there is a factor of luck, there is a factor of hard work. There's just so many things that are there. Um, and so that's one thing. Financial difficulties are there. So what yoga and meditation does is it just brings you to your source. You begin to realize that, you know, you have four walls around you. You have access to so many different things. You're getting a couple of square meals every day, and even that, there's our brethren in other countries that don't have access to it, or even in our own country. And there is a lot to be grateful for. Meditation connects you with that gratitude within yourself. And when you connect to that gratitude, then you find the strength that you never knew you had. It just expands. It says, I've already got so much going for me. And what can I do? Uh, what more can I do? And you start thinking, what more can I do in my own life? What more can I do for others? You know, how can I discover something? If you're a scientist, how can I build a great company? If you're, you know, an entrepreneur, how can I be a great manager if I'm in a company? Or how can I be a great sales associate if that's what you're doing? So meditation connects you to the best within yourself, to your role, and you're not competing with others. You're just being the best that you can be, and that's very liberating. And it also makes it very easy for you to to be nice to others. Like there is a, oh, you know, the ancient Sanskrit proverb of Atiti Devo Bhava, which is your guest is very honored person, is something that it just becomes natural. You know, you and it's there in almost every, in every culture, every religion, it is there. And you just begin to start vibing with those rather than the other aspects that, can cause trouble.
Yes, so that's really nice to share, sir. Thank you so much for, connecting spirituality, you connecting meditation, yoga, and above all, gratitude, and putting all them together and saying that that is the real essence of life. No matter what you do in life, whichever profession you are, you have to connect with yourself. There should be an inner understanding as to what you really want to do on this earth, and how you should be of service to others. Being of service to yourself and to others really makes the picture more clear and brightens up of our lives. That's wonderful, sir. So, is there any anecdote that you'd love to share with us with regard to your childhood? What kind of a child were you? Did you have a vision of what you are today at an early stage when you were like a youngster, or this all just happened
No,
with the flow?
no, my son once told me recently, he said, Dad, is it okay that I don't know what I want to do yet? And I said, I still don't know what I want to do. So why are you putting pressure on yourself? I actually really didn't know where I was going. I knew I wanted to go to the US at that time. Um, but beyond that, I really didn't know. And so it's been like a journey of discovery at every step. And I think one of the things that happened is I started programming at almost the age of 9. And we didn't have computers. So my father was sales agent for some microcomputers. So when he brought it home, we managed to connect it to the TV. There was no laptops and computers at that time, and I just started programming on the TV. And so that was one thing that's always been a part of me. I never studied computer science. I just learned it on the side. And I find that that experiential way of learning, whatever you learn, is one of the best ways to do it. So anecdotally, I think that some things that really shaped my thinking were kindness. Actually, um, I I found that there was a moment where I was very low in, I was feeling very down. And I thought my parents and others would come and console me. They did a little bit of it, but then they actually took the moment to help out a few others. And and I realized that in your lowest moments, if you actually go out and do something for somebody else, it unleashes a power that you never knew you had. We all think that in our lowest moments we have to water our own tree. Go and water somebody else's tree at that time. Just see what happens. I couldn't believe it. I think that was one of the anecdotes that really shaped me. And so today, if there's an opportunity to help, I always say thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to help, because it just keeps on liberating. And I think that's been one of the big learnings. See, the other thing that I'm finding is there is going to be a synergy, a help that happens between man and machine. Um, it's like I said, I've been working on computing from the age of 9, and I've seen where the computer is going today. I've had a chance to study job creation from a very long time, because even in my younger days, when you mentioned anecdotal, my parents created a company around the same time that Infosys did. They employed about 100 people in technology. And so I saw them build that company for 25 years. And one interesting thing about it is they sustained those 100 jobs for 25 years. I think anybody that can support 10, 5, 10, 50, 100 jobs for a period of 10 years is doing some amazing service. And I think that to me was something that just stuck with me and just kept influencing my thinking. So today I find myself at the crossroads of all these anecdotes: computing with AI, compassion, the human intuition. And I feel that's why I created the current company. It's a Silicon Valley company called Unisense Tech. And what we do here is we build the product discovery engine for e-commerce and for almost anything. So if you're travel destination, we allow you to discover travel places to go to, and we do that by understanding the emotion of the person that is searching for it. And this ability to understand the emotion and the ability to bring the computing together is where everything is going. And so I was able to take a few of these anecdotes, and it really shapes your future. There's nothing you do that is wasted. Take this from me. there is no instant of your life that is wasted. It will all come together. So people sometimes say, I wasted 3 years in learning about making chocolates. And now I've gone to, doing arts and crafts. And no, it doesn't get wasted. It always comes back, and I love what Steve Jobs said. Like, he said you can always connect the dots in the past. You can never connect the dots in the future. But when you look back on your life, you'll see those dots neatly connect to create the fabric that you are today.
Yes, sir, that's really very interesting that you shared that. And I like the way you put this. When someone is down and they have to get up from that space and water somebody else or guide somebody else or serve somebody else who's way below them, or maybe suffering more than them, to search out and to share their time and spread love, have empathy. That's how you overcome your own challenges. You fight your own demons, because nowadays youngsters are into depression a lot. So that would be a wonderful advice, that, or suggestion. We don't call it as an advice, friends, we call it as a suggestion, that you find people who are suffering more than you and try to help them out where you could feel that relief. Get connected with meditation and with yoga. That's really nice. Now, sir, there's something that I'd like to add over here. Now, what kind of people can join your company? Like you say, you are into this beautiful space called as the Unisens. Who are the ones who can come forward and connect with you? If at all
Yeah,
they're
so
interested, the ones who are watching and they say, we'd like to bond with sir, we resonate with his thoughts, and we are in sync with what he does and what he thinks.
yeah, so we definitely so we have our learning center called Sangachadvam, which is open for anybody that wants to come and learn. The only thing they have to bring is an attitude of gratitude and and a work ethic, a strong work ethic. Because it's very hard to teach somebody that doesn't want to learn. So those two are really essential. And the attitude of gratitude just develops. It just sprouts within a person. These two things are the only things they need to bring. Once they do that, we've even taken people in the US that were, homeless war veterans, that, had fought for the country and, couldn't get back into work. We've trained them, we've brought them into high tech, given them jobs, and many such folks in the US, and people from difficult backgrounds in India as well. We're not the only ones that have done it. It's really heartwarming to see how many organizations are doing this in India. Um, but I must say that we need more and more. So I want people to look at us and say, we can do it too. That, if some gray haired dude like Bharat can do it, then I can do it too. And I can do it better. And I can do it for many more years. And that's really what uh, we want to inspire people to say, go and create jobs, because that productive time spent is going to be essential. In the West, they're already seeing AI replace some jobs. So there's a fear. But what they don't realize is that AI is going to create a lot of jobs. And so there needs to be a very concerted effort to do the transition from the jobs that are being lost to the new jobs that are going to be created. And this is where I want people to again rise. And in order to trust their own intuition, find the silence within it. And the yoga and meditation will take you there. Creativity is always born out of silence. So you go back to that place, and in that silence, you're going to express yourself with all the creativity.
That's wonderful, sir. You focused on, when you are silent, you be more creative, to understand the real meaning of being silent and finding that creativity within you. And that's a very encouraging way that you've shared all of it now, sir. That's really nice. Now, sir, is this only for people in India or across the world? If at all somebody would like to bond with you, connect with you, or like to be under your guidance, would like you to mentor them, Like, are you only focused for students who are now the Indian students are there in the US, and many of them are struggling now because the job market is not good. They are having a very difficult time, and they would like to merge and connect with you and seek guidance or maybe a job as well. So, what do you have to say about it? Is it only for India, or it's like for the students in USA, the youth
So
in
we are a
USA?
small organization. So we are, we have a branch in Bangalore and one in San Francisco, which is why I think we see it more as a movement. We we have a formula that has succeeded, and we haven't taken even a rupee in charity from anyone. We earned and we shared. And we think that's a formula for that anyone can follow, and we're happy to share that formula. So anybody that wants to reach out, especially an entrepreneur, we can say, here's the formula. Here's what you need to do. It's always hard work, but an entrepreneur is ready for that. They are ready to face challenges. And believe me, we've been in it for 10 years, 1,400 jobs, many companies that have succeeded. Um, and if we can do it, anybody can. And I think that's really where we want to inspire so others can do it, because they expect almost 300 million jobs to be displaced in the next few years. So we need entrepreneurs that will rise and say, I will create 5 jobs, 10 jobs, and it be a movement of job creation.
Wow, so that's so inspiring. That's very inspiring. I'd like the way you said, the people should come forward and take the risk of being an entrepreneur, create jobs, have people employed, give them employment. That's really nice. You need to take the risk. So the right kind of people should come forward and take the risk. And you know what's the best thing, sir? If Vijay sir could do it, Bharat Vijay could do it, others too could do it. You keep giving yourself as an example. That's really nice. And so even the computers, if I could learn, anybody could learn. That's what you said in the initial stages. Is there any message you'd love to give to the youth of India, the middle-aged and senior citizens? Now, as you earlier mentioned, gray hair. Now, there are certain people who have retired but still would like to continue their journey and earn something and live a dignified life. There are middle-aged people who are going through middle-age crisis. And the youth, of course, with unemployment, they are struggling. So everyone has something that's not okay with them. Most of them. Just a few of them are financially secure. Now, the remaining of them, what kind of a suggestion or what kind of a message you'd like to give them on this platform, not to lose hope, the future is bright.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest phenomena that's happening now is generative AI. So uh, it's so today I can generative AI is one of the most patient, knowledgeable teachers there is on the planet, and it's available to every human being for free right now. I know I'm speaking from a technology perspective, but you can learn almost anything there, even farming. It'll give you in whatever language you want. It'll tell you in Kannada, it'll tell you in Hindi. And you just have to validate that it's giving it to you from the right source. So now we have a democratized learning system that is available for everybody at the pace that they want to learn. So one thing I would say is take advantage of that. The second thing I would say is the opposite. You don't have to follow technology. In fact, a lot of people who have gone up into the technology world are coming back into agriculture. It's gone a full 360 degrees. So just we need to be open and really look and learn other skills. Like I said earlier, India has this ability to learn like almost no other. So pick up the skill. If it is horticulture, pick up horticulture. If it is, pick up that skill and start earning in that area. It may start small, but once the water, few drops of water start flowing, then to keep cranking the engine, more water will flow. And that's my biggest message is don't feel sorry for yourself. It is take that first step towards learning. Don't get in the trap of feeling sorry for yourself. It doesn't do you any good. I've been there, done that. It doesn't do you any good. You just move in a direction. If that direction is wrong, that knowledge will not go waste. I guarantee you. You come back and learn something else, and the dots will connect for you. I think that's my biggest learning that I can share.
Yes, that's really nice. The way you said, if not the technology space, you can deviate yourself, or you can change track. You can go in for farming, agriculture. You mentioned horticulture as well. It could be something traditional, but you need to do something. You just cannot be sitting idle there and, saying that, oh, I'm not successful in this area. Try your hand at other things. There are many other beautiful aspects where you could really, succeed in life, or you could find fulfillment. And you said never regret your past. You can always connect the dots and, bring it to your present. That will all be useful. That's really very nice, sir. I really like the way you shared all your thoughts. You put it very clear across the table. If you'd like to share anything more which I haven't focused upon, you could share. I have one question, like if you could just elaborate this social entrepreneur. If you've already done that, you could please redo it once again for us, such that we get a clear picture as to who a social entrepreneur is and how one could be just like you.
Yeah, I mean, be better. I'm, be better than me. I'm not the best social entrepreneur, but I have a very strong intention. See, an entrepreneur is trying to make a profitable business. A social entrepreneur is trying to make the profitable business while making a positive impact to society. I think that's really what it is you you create a few jobs, or you're growing trees, or you're making a positive impact. You're going into electric cars, electric tractors, whatever it is. I'm just giving ideas. So the social entrepreneur is trying to make that difference, is trying to make a profit, but trying to make a profit that also has a positive impact. Um, there are many people that are now climate change entrepreneurs. There are people that are creating carbon credits and working that area. And I think there's just so many things. Organic farming, um, organic food, organic cuisine. There is quite a lot of things that one can do as a social entrepreneur, and you create one additional job, one job, and that's all you need to do. That's You just need to start there, and then it'll grow, and that one may become two or three or five, and it all adds up, and we just need more people to do that.
Yes, so that's really nice. Creating employability, that's wonderful. Start start small and then you will reach big. That's really nice. I had a wonderful time getting to know you, your thoughts and your vision for the future, with regard to entrepreneur taking up the risk, and with regard to meditation, with regarding to understanding yourself in the right perspective, and of being of help to others. I really like this when you put, even when you're at the lowest, find somebody who you could reach out to, share their pain such that your pain becomes less, your stress becomes less. In that way, we share happiness and joy with one and all. So, towards the end of the session, I'd like you to share 3 magical words. We always put this small request. In spite of receiving such a lot of wisdom from you right from the start till now, still, I really put in this small request that you share 3 magical words before we end the session to empower us, where we can focus our thoughts, views, and live a beautiful life.
Never give up.
Wow, that's wonderful. Hats off to you for that. Never give up. Is there anything else you'd like to share, sir?
That's really what it is. I think never give up on yourself.
Wow.
Never give up on positive thinking. It doesn't mean you're to be positive all the time, but never give up on seeing how much has been done for you. Never give up on gratitude. You know, that's your source of strength. And, it is really at the end of the day, never give up on yourself. You have so many different opportunities. And even if it looks bleak, and even if you feel the walls are caving in, just, hold on to that.
Excellent, sir. And hats off to the last 3 words, that is never give up. No matter what, my dear friends, this is the message that you have to keep deep within your heart. 24/7, keep telling it to yourself. If you're facing a low in your life, please do not give up. The world is beautiful. There are people and mentors out there who could guide you in the right way. This video could also guide you in the right way, how to overcome challenges and face every situation in your life. Thank you very much, sir. We look forward to many more interactions with you. It's been a pleasure to have you share your thoughts on this platform. Namaste and thank you so much.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for the wonderful interview. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. My dear friends, do us a favor, share this video with the right kind of people. And of course, if you're facing a tough time with your job, you can always, diverge or share your space on another platform. You could go into agriculture, you could go into creativity, you could go into arts, you could go into drama, you could go into cooking. You never know where is your calling. If one thing doesn't work or plan A doesn't work, there are different other plans you should keep up in your basket where you could use. Don't give up on life. Life is beautiful. It's a wonderful gift. Stay blessed and stay safe. Thank you, sir.